There we go.
Yeah, there he was.
Whoa.
There he was.
Yeah. Boy, do we have a surprise for hashtag Nation. I am so excited about tonight. I can't even tell you. I'm so
Okay.
excited.
Right out of the gate, hashtag Nation. We got to talk to you guys. We got to talk to you about it. So there was a bet last game.
There sure was.
Yes, for James Cook to have over 80 yards rushing, and Ryan took the over. So you guys pretty much know what happens. Welcome to hashtag Sports, everybody. So he had to eat cold wings with ranch as a punishment.
But not real wings. Wings from like a generally like a place that you would never want to get wings from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's what we did.
My mom raised no bitch. So here I am with Walmart wings, 12 Walmart hot wings. I went hot wings because I actually heard decent reviews about their ranch wings that they have. So I went with the hot wings. And you know what? I just said the hell with it and dumped the ranch right on the wings and swished it around, and it's go time. And by the way, I did mention in the group chat before we started here, I'm fighting off a head cold, and I went to the game last night. So this is like my Jordan flu game here. So the hashtag Nation. This is my Jordan flu game. I'm going to finish 12 of these wings while we go. So, yes, Kyle, to answer your question, I have plenty to say. So these guys are being saved by these wings here. So
yeah, I was going to say it's the only way we can get a word in. Mm-hmm. No. Hashtag Nation, you guys know the deal. All the socials, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Make sure you tonight's show is sponsored by Mr. Rogers Homes. Link in the description. He visit his YouTube page as well if you're looking for some property out in Zona. Guys, as we do customarily when we start our shows, I usually kick it over to Paul for his initial thoughts. But what the heck happened?
Yeah. I think Hoffman sums this one up perfectly. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I hear that playing in my head right now.
I know. Yeah.
What do you think, Paul?
Listen, it was bound to happen eventually, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, you just look at it. It was bound to happen eventually. Now, we had talked about this, right? Vrabel has historically played the Bills tough. This was precisely the type of game that I think we kind of all were worrying it could turn into. Yeah. And you just don't win games where you lose the turnover battle. I mean, it's just really as simple as that. Yeah, you got to get pretty lucky. But the Bills had 3 turnovers. You don't win those games.
Nope.
That's that. You should be thankful you only lost by 3.
Paul, real quick before you get into that, I was trying to see the positives in the game. I was like, 11 penalties, 3 turnovers. You played like dog water, and you still only lost by 3 to a division rival. Mm-hmm. And we have stated many times on this show that you could throw everything out the window when division opponents meet. It's just a different atmosphere. It's a different game. It just feels different. It's played different. These two teams, whether or not, I mean, they have had some close games in recent years, just because of the familiarity. But to echo what McDermott said, and I don't really like a lot of the things that he says personally. But are you looking at Ryan, licking his fingers?
No. I think it's funny. Ryan just chimes in as soon as McDermott shows up. It's like, pardon?
It's like Pavlov.
It's like a dog whistle for me.
Yeah. Cream? Who wants cream?
No cream?
Okay, no cream.
Fetus, I'm not putting that on the screen. I'm not doing it. But McDermott said we got a little too cute sometimes. And I think some of the play calling was a little too cutesy sometimes. And it, was not demure, was not mindful at all. Ryan, I mentioned McDermott because I'm kicking it right over to you, buddy. Let's go.
Listen, this was a quintessential Sean McDermott football game by this football team. This was playoff-esque Sean McDermott football, right? It was unimaginative. It was feckless. It was a rollover by this team. What are we doing? What is going on? You're running a jet sweep to Dawson Knox. What is going on with this franchise right now? And then for him to oh, I think we got too cute, a couple times throughout the game. Well, your job is to get on the mic to Brady and tell him to stop getting cute. Stop calling the bullshit that you're calling.
Mm-hmm.
Go to James Cook, who's averaging 4 yards a carry every time he touches the football. Has only put the ball on the turf once. Like, instead, they're benching Keon Coleman for heaven knows what for one series. Like, what a message that tries to send? Who freaking knows, right? Like, one series, big deal. Then the guy fumbles the ball because I don't know, maybe he's not into the game script, maybe he's not ready to play because he didn't start the football game. And then you still pick up 11 penalties. So, like, what are you proving to this football team by benching a guy in Keon Coleman? Regardless of the fact that the kid produces nothing on the field this season so far. Like, he's not doing anything that he's supposed to be doing. Like, the entire issue with this offense right now is they have nobody who can attack the boundary. Kincaid was killing them in the middle of the field the entire first half. And then because nobody's beating them on the boundary, it's fairly easy to take away in the middle of the field, right, Mario? Like, if you're not getting beat on the boundary, you're not worried about those honey hole shots that these guys are going to take against the cover 2 defense that you're running. Like, it's not a problem. And then you have to go away from the run because you can't hang on to the football. Josh throws, it's a contested ball, right? Like, but Josh throws those all the time. It's just a bad throw. It's a little behind Shakir. It gets picked off in the red zone. You can't have it, right? But you also can't have a Keon Coleman fumble. And you certainly can't have a fumble on an exchange because you're trying to run a jet sweep to a goddamn tight end. Like, those things don't mix together. Say what you will about the way the defense played. Like, Trey White is a problem, right? The linebacking core right now is a problem. But let's not act like that defense didn't do enough to win the football game, considering they were facing 11 penalties and 3 turnovers and trying to right the ship from there. Like, that defense played well enough. Your offense has put up 30 points a game the last 4 games. You give up 23, right? Like, you did enough. And 2 of those scores, 10 of those points came on a short field because of a turnover. Like, yes, Trey White's a problem. It has to get addressed. You have to figure out what's going on opposite Christian Benford. But let's not pretend Christian Benford has been locked down either, right? Like, he's a problem in his own right. The only one playing well in the secondary right now, as far as I'm concerned, is Cole Bishop. And then you've got this journeyman, this guy that's 30 whatever years old, and Shaq Thompson. He's your best defensive player. Like, what is going on with this football team? And Nate Geary said it on the postgame on WGR. Like, okay, maybe now we can finally talk about what the problems with this football team are, right? Like, because they have problems. McDermott still can't manage a clock, still can't manage timeouts. Like, how many extra plays did he give New England at the end of that first half? Because he's using his timeouts for what? I don't know. Does he get like cookies left on his desk? Like, if he doesn't leave any timeouts on the field at halftime? Like, this is a quintessential, and I saw it on Twitter after, and I know we've talked about it in our group chats. This is a prime example of why this football team will not and cannot win a Super Bowl with Sean McDermott coaching the football team. He does not rise up in big games. He does not get his team ready to play. And this showed it. 11 penalties. Like, they've got 22 penalties in the last 2 games. That can't happen. That can't happen with a good football team. And I mean, I don't know where they go from here because there's just so many issues. And now they're facing a team in Atlanta that's playing good football. Their quarterback is playing well. Like, they've got a legitimate top 5 running back. And who knows what this is going to look like if they don't get some of these guys back. Like, if Ed Oliver's not back, like, I'm worried about this Atlanta game.
Bijan has 584 yards in 4 games. Just to let you guys know. He's their leading receiver as well. Ryan, I would love to applaud you. Now eat a wing. I love to applaud that entire diatribe. Yeah, that entire diatribe was amazing on so many levels. So many things that were echoed. Like, just to let you guys know, we didn't talk at all today. Like, a few things were thrown in the chat as far as this, but it was mostly about the wings and some fun stuff like that. I had issued a tweet earlier. This is my 3rd straight week going at Trey White. Can't have it. Strong's out on IR. They're treating Hairston with kid gloves. He was able to
I'm on task, Mark. Even if he's healthy, it's not going to matter, dude. Like, we've been down this road before.
Doing it the way that they've done it has them 0-4 against the Chiefs in the playoffs.
Yeah, I know.
So let's try something different. Ryan, to your point about the timeouts, I have no clue why he was calling those. There was 46 seconds left. What, are you going to get the ball back and do something? Yeah, you really proved that on the last drive of the game.
I was waiting for that. Oh my God. I was waiting for one of us to bring that up.
Abysmal. But
Oh,
I mean, like to your point too with the defense, we could harp on the defense. The defense is a problem. However, you give up a fumble at your 47, and then they immediately fumbled it back to you.
mm-hmm.
You give up the ball on your 11. New England has -1 yards and has to kick a field goal. That to me that's enough for your offense to go down there and score and do some damage, because usually you're supposed to lose those games. If you get the ball twice in enemy territory and you come away with 3 points, you're supposed to lose those games unless something egregious happens. What happened? 3 other turnovers and 11 penalties. And you know what? This is not going to be one of those podcasts that you guys see all the time. We're going to just beat up on Hockey League the entire time. If you want that, go to Rockport or Rock Pile, whatever the hell. But that's what he's going to do. He's going to beat up the penalties. The penalties were what they were. It's an undisciplined, unfocused team, and that emanates from the head coach. 100%.
Mm-hmm. I will say specifically about Trey, right? Like he had the responsibility for most of the day of having to deal with the most passionate Stephon Diggs the Texans that the Patriots will see all season, right? He didn't play a single game for the Texans like that, and it had been a while since he'd played one like that for Buffalo.
Yeah.
That was a very passionate man, and he ran very angry routes. So I don't want to bang on Trey, but the fact of the matter is I think it shows you that, you know, when you look at the rest of this roster, what else you got, right? Like where else can you go here? Because with Dane, are you going to put Dane Jackson out there at this point? Are you going to put Jamarcus Ingram out there? Like these guys have been here for some time, and you're still starting Trey, which tells me that you still think Trey is the best option, and that's what your best option looks like. And that is a little scary. Because the season only gets harder from here, right? Now, I'm not talking the Falcons specifically as being, you know, the season only gets harder. You got the Falcons. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But when you look up and down the rest of the roster, I don't think you can ask more of the guys on the bench because you kind of already know what's there, right? Like, we know what Cam Lewis looks like. I'm not going to put Cam Lewis in over Trey White.
No.
Right? Like, I'm not going to do it.
God, no.
You know, so the roster is constructed to keep the guys at the top still at the top, almost regardless of how they're playing. And I think that's kind of what's most frustrating to me. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm excited to get the guys back from suspension, you know, post week 6, but that doesn't fix the biggest problem to me, which was, to Ryan's point, he made a great one. Shaq Thompson at times has been your best defensive player, and at other times has looked completely lost. Right? Like there's some plays where I go and I'm like, man, I don't think he knew what was supposed to be happening there. Right? Like it doesn't happen often, but it does happen. You can't have your quote unquote best defensive player doing that, especially since you're dealing with Milano with the pec. That's not going to go away anytime soon.
Can we talk about Milano? Like,
yeah,
you can't count on this guy the rest of the season, right? Like you cannot count on him. He cannot stay on the field. And I saw somebody in the chat, I don't know who it was,
Paul,
who said he did his job. His job's to be on the field, right? He played 32 snaps yesterday because he got hurt. That can't happen. Like, he cannot be counted on for anything more than a rotational guy at this point in time. Like, he is like a package guy at this point because they're trying to play him. The issue that arises is they're trying to play him as a starter. And then when he goes down, who is it? Joe Andreessen? Like, come on.
Yeah,
he was in there.
What are we doing here, right? Like, what are we doing? Joe Andreessen? Come on, man. Like, that can't be your contingency. The crux of this issue with this defense is, what was their philosophy this offseason? Sign their guys and fill holes. And who are the guys they decided to sign? Christian Benford, average at best this season. At best, average. Terrell Bernard, average at best this season. At best. Greg Rousseau, invisible so far this season. He had 1 sack yesterday, which was a really nice play. That's been it from him. Like, that can't happen with this team. Like, and now you've got these guys that are still suspended, right? And we've been talking about how like, well, this defense is going to look a little bit different when these guys come back. They're going to be better. And like, I don't know that. At this point, what do I have to believe that they're going to be any better when these guys come back, right? Because the guys that they decided to target in the offseason, which were their own guys who know this system, who are playing well, like you paid Rousseau all this money. Who's outplaying him? AJ Epinesa, the guy you decided not to pay, right? Like, okay, that's a problem. You know, could you have used a Rousseau to like be the linchpin of like a Micah Parsons deal? Like that probably is something that Dallas might have been interested in, right? Like instead we're hanging on to these guys like Keon Coleman. Now you've benched him. Could he have been a guy that could have been a centerpiece for, say, I don't know, like an AJ Brown deal, right? Like there are these things that it's like the coaching staff and the front office aren't talking to each other. And by all accounts, that's not the case, but they just do these things, right? Like it's just like one thing doesn't make a lot of sense in the other. And when you look at this defense, like what about this defense indicates anything's going to get better? Like Trey White's not going to suddenly figure out how to play corner at the age of 30. What is he? 31, 30 years old. Like Max Hairston, like we talk about like time on task, like tongue in cheek, the kid's not healthy. Like McDermott said it 2 weeks ago. We don't know if he's coming back this season. That's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Your first round pick is out. Your second round pick hasn't played because he's been hurt the last couple games, right? Like your third round pick can't get on the field. They dressed him finally for the first time all season. Landon Jackson yesterday. How many snaps did he see? Does anybody have that in front of him?
I don't even know if he saw
16 snaps.
Yeah,
he saw 16 snaps yesterday.
Yeah,
I didn't know he was in the game.
You've got a linebacker core who, again, your best player is Shaq Thompson. Matt Milano can't stay on the field because he can't stay healthy. That's a wrap on him. Like, he's done. You cannot count on him the rest of the season. You've got an invisible free safety in Taylor Rapp that you decided not to go out and get another safety because you had Rapp, right? Like,
Bishop and you could re-sign Jordan Poyer. That's
right. They went and got one. They got the free agent from Washington, I believe, but he hasn't been able to get on the field.
Well, and then you got Sam Franklin, right? He's a great special teams guy, but he's not getting on the field in terms of safety production either. Yeah. So, like, there's no indication that this defense is going to right the ship. But by and large, my issue right now is the offense. Like, this offense is not it. Like, I don't know how they've scored 30 over the last few games, but the Baltimore game's looking worse and worse in terms of how your offense played. Like, that's becoming less and less of a litmus test of like, hey, this offense is pretty good when they're clicking on all cylinders, right? Because Baltimore is on pace for like a historically bad defense this year. The Dolphins are terrible. The Dolphins like have no idea. Rico Dowdle ran for 200 yards on him yesterday. Like, what are we talking about there, right? The Saints are awful. I mean, Jackson Dart was, in the first half looked like a freaking, revelation at the quarterback position for the Giants. They haven't beaten anybody, this offense. And then when they finally do face a decently good defense, they stall. Like, and they can't get open. They can't beat man coverage.
So, well, Ryan, and to that, right? There was a drive in the third quarter. It was a long drive. And Josh checked out of almost every single play. Like, he alerted on almost every single play on that drive. Yeah, like without fail. And it was a long drive. I feel like it was like 8, 9, 10 plays. And I think there was only one play he didn't alert out of, right? That's bad play calling.
8 for 433 and 74 with a touchdown. That was a touchdown drive.
Yeah. But Josh alerts out of every single one of those plays except one, right? Like, that should tell you something, right? Like, that speaks a bit to me like there's a game flow that Brady didn't figure out, and that Josh on the field was saying, no, we're seeing something different here. We're seeing something. He
alerts out of everything, and it's the most successful offensive drive they have all night.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, to me,
it was the only drive that he didn't have to man up and take himself, because so often the thing that got me a little bit yesterday, Mario, I want you to get to your point, but whenever Josh would start to buy time, we always saw downfield Josh, right? And there were a bunch of intermediate routes open where, again, guys were just running with him and he was just looking past it. I think we have to have the conversation at some point that if a guy is 8 yards down the field running with Josh is not going to throw to him just simply because Josh will look at it and say, well, I can get those 8 yards. Like, I can get those. Like, I'm not really worried about that. Let me keep looking down the field.
So at times, yeah.
And that was a lot yesterday. Where if you watch the plays breakdown, the ones where he was really trying to buy time and on the move right before he decides to run, there's guys that are open 7, 8, 9 yards down the field, and he's like, "No, it's fine. I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna get it. It's fine."
Yeah, the as far as the offense is concerned, the play where he scrambled, it looked like it was probably going to be a pass interference on Shakir by Gonzalez, and that was the third down play where they had to kick the field goal. Curtis Samuel was running free. Allen bailed out of the pocket early, probably because of what was going on, what he saw, what he thought he saw, but he had a crossing route across deep across the field. He was wide open.
Mhm.
And here's the thing. Sometimes I think this coaching staff throws their hands up behind their head and leans back because like, we got 17, we're all right.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But the one thing that Joe Brady has to realize that when you're an offensive play caller in the NFL now, I mean, he's had a few seasons to do it. You develop tendencies. You need to do some self-scouting in some of the things that you call and some of the things that you're doing. If the guys are not getting separation, it is your responsibility as an offensive coordinator to scheme them open. I can't tell you how many times we've seen top-level offensive coordinators that they don't have the best talent around them, but guys are getting open. How? How is that happening? You know what I mean? It was like,
Well, I'll tell you how. Step one of making sure that your guys get open is make your best man-to-man wide receiver active. Like Elijah Moore was inactive last night.
Mhm.
Why?
that was ridiculous.
Why
to me.
was he in?
Yeah.
You knew they were
I
going to
don't-
come out and run man-to-man coverage. I mean, if they're going to come out and run man-to-man coverage, like why would you not want like Curtis
Tyrell
Samuel and Elijah
Shavers.
Moore on the field at the same time?
Yeah, for
Right? Like,
Shavers, right?
yeah.
Like that.
Or,
That's what it looked
or
like.
if the infraction is that bad for Coleman, right? Like if you're really trying to send a message to the kid, like maybe Coleman needed to be inactive. Whatever you decided to do as a coach, it wasn't going to work either way because I don't have any faith it can. But you're coming into a team that wants to play man-to-man, wants to press you on the line of scrimmage, you want to run pre-snap motion against him. You have that orbit motion that was an absolutely beautiful play call and beautiful route by Samuel
Yep.
on the touchdown. And yet Elijah Moore's on the bench, like inactive, a healthy scratch. Like what? It's just these things where it's like it's too cute from Jump Street, like from the inactives list. They're trying to get too cute with this offense. And it's not working. And I don't know if Josh needs to get into somebody's ear. I don't know if McDermott needs to.
He already is in the ear. You don't run a jet sweep to Knox unless it's your boy.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
and
I
Brady's
Josh
response,
looked pretty frustrated after that.
Yeah,
in terms of the play call.
Brady's response to it is basically like, if that breaks, nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about the fumble. The fact that gets attributed to Josh is kind of stupid, first of all.
I mean, just the fact that you're trying to hand the ball off to a tight end running full speed, like, it's not difficult to figure out how many ways that can go wrong, right? Like, especially when the first 4 weeks you were running that play to Elijah Moore. Like,
yeah. It's just, oh my God,
you throw no passes out of your jumbo set, right? Like you go away from that.
You think Hawes would have had more of an impact because when they decided to go big, I mean, it was we had laid it out on the table with the fact that New England has a very stout run defense, but their opponents, Ryan was a little bit taken aback by like, look at who their opponents were. Like, the running backs that they faced weren't scary enough for you to say, okay, this defense is good against the run. I think we need to now say the defense is pretty decent against the run. They literally could not get Cook going. They really couldn't. And I think a lot of this stuff comes off of that. Like Josh tried doing that pump and go to Kincaid that they scored last week on, and it didn't work. And he just ended up throwing it back out to Cook, who was over there.
Yeah. Cook had his long was 9 yards. That was his long run of the day.
Yeah. And if you can't get him going, then you start to become one dimensional. Now, Allen can move. So he tends to move to his right a little majority of the time. And I think when he was moving to the right, a lot of his receivers weren't getting open, or he wasn't throwing very many contested balls because I think he knew the type of game that it was going to be. May did not care. Drake May did not care what he was doing.
No.
But then again, every time Trey White was matched up on Diggs, he looked at Diggs. Like I'm surprised that that Trey White didn't have the worst PFF grade of the entire week out of anybody. He didn't. It was pretty bad, but it wasn't the worst. And then here's the deal. Here's the thing that gets me, because you guys were talking about it a little bit earlier. Shaq Thompson and Trey White. Trey White has been in this defense before. He knows what's expected of it. I'm wondering if he's lost either because he's older or there's been so many changes before he came back. Secondly, which makes me say that, is the fact that Shaq Thompson played exactly in McDermott's defense. So if he's lost on a few plays, how much input do you think Babich has on this bad boy? That he's changed McDermott's philosophy up to a degree that these guys are getting confused now. Like I said, I tweeted out earlier, if Harrison comes back or you decide to use another corner, I've seen all of Taylor Rapp I want to see. But to Ryan's point, you can't put Milano in all the time. Mm-hmm. You have two separate packages for Milano and Rapp to play in the box. Mm-hmm. They're not that far apart as far as size goes. What's the difference? Rapp's going to go in there with more intensity than Milano will. And then you play Bernard and Thompson 100% of your snaps. You got to have them guys have continuity in there on the second level. And Ryan, you and I have talked about this a bunch of times, and Paul, we've talked about it all the time. The game within a game. Everything affects everything. Mm-hmm. If the safety play in the first 5 games has been abysmal, that's going to affect your corner play. I don't think Benford's playing average. I think that he's not getting help when he thinks he has help. And that's the problem that's happening.
Well, and I know Ryan said that the best safety right now for Buffalo is Cole Bishop. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know how you can make that statement given the state of the secondary, right? I mean, it's like picking your favorite broken crayon. Like nothing's working right now, like nothing's working on that backside.
You're the tallest kid in 3rd grade. That's pretty much.
Yeah. Right. Well, and I mean, you kind of look at the depth of the defense, right? And then you look and you say, well, what about Tehran, right? Tehran had 2 tackles, but I mean, let's be honest, right?
Tehran missed a lot of tackles though. Like Tehran Johnson is another one we got to talk about.
That's what I'm saying, right? It's not just, we can bitch about Milano because I think a lot of us are disappointed. I don't think Tehran is getting as much smoke as he should for the way that he's played the last few games, right? Because this is, I don't think you're getting your investment out of Tehran. Right. Like that's my point. And I think the easy one is to sit here and bang on Trey and bang on Taylor Rapp and bang on Cole Bishop. But there's other defensive backs on this team. And Tehran Johnson hasn't been at the level that you expected him to be at when healthy, because it's not often you get a healthy Tehran Johnson, and you have one right now, and he has not been good.
I was wondering why when Diggs was in the slot, why wasn't Tehran covering him? If he's supposed to be one of those guys, your nickel corner.
That's what I'm saying, right? I don't know. Ryan, you said you had said Tehran missed a bunch of tackles. Is there one that sticks out to you from yesterday?
Yeah, I don't know if one sticks out necessarily. I know there's a few that I can think of. There was one where Diggs kind of caught one on an out route, and Tehran's in pursuit. And Diggs just kind of puts his foot in the ground and goes the other direction, and Tehran just kind of flies right by him. Like, those are plays where...
Oh, yeah, I remember that play, yeah.
2 years ago, like, you expect him to make that play, right? Like, you expect him to make it now. I mean, just there were just instances where, like, it just seemed like he was in good position to make a tackle, and he just couldn't come up with it, whether it was an arm tackle, whether it was, kind of hitting the guy square in the kind of the thighs, and they just bounce off and go and, keep running, but... He just was really disappointing tackling. I mean, Joey Bosa had another rough game tackling from what I remember. Like, and the fact that Stephon Diggs, like, had his way with this defense, and they couldn't or wouldn't switch up who was covering him. It just seemed like every single
12 targets
time they
on
lined it. Like, if Christian Benford's your dude, like, why is he not just shadowing Trey? Like, Mario, if we talk about, like, he's not getting any help, like, who's the guy you don't need help with? Stephon Diggs, because he's not going over the top, right? You don't need help with him. Just man-to-man, stick with him, keep it in front of you. Like, why couldn't Christian Benford do that if he's not an issue?
I was just talking. I just mentioned Steve in the chat. Steve Hampton said, why wasn't Diggs bracketed after his 5th catch. And I said, man under 2 deep takes care of that. If you're worried about him going over the top, you got the 2 deep there.
But it's Stephon Diggs. Like, why you're not worried about him going over the top? Like
that's
you're not,
right.
No, but I'm saying, no, if you were worried, they were playing like they were worried about him going over the top, and it's when plays break down. Yeah, when plays break down, that's when he's at his best because he knows where to find the holes and soft spots. And when Trey gets turned around on him, like, oh, the ball should have been out by now. It's almost like when a quarterback takes a sack on a 3-step drop, and he holds the ball too long. The ball should be out. The lineman doesn't realize that. Same thing for safeties. When there's a blitz, you're expecting that to get home, so you're not covering as long as you think you should, and things break down. That's for as much as they blitz. Why weren't they doing a front side blitz? That's what I want to know. You go to the side with the 1st-round draft pick, Will Campbell, who Bosa should have ate his lunch the entire game, and he didn't.
Nope.
Why weren't you blitzing off the edge to force May to his left? You kept forcing him out to his right. You did a twist stunt that forced him literally, and you have a defensive tackle trying to chase him down. That doesn't make sense.
So successful, like throughout the entire game, he's being so successful off schedule. When he gets out of the pocket, they just keep blitzing him to push him out of the pocket. Like there's no adjustment to the fact that the kid's doing nothing to you in the pocket.
I saw a stat
doing absolutely nothing until he breaks the tackle box. Like, I don't know, maybe try, maybe blitz and try to keep him in the pocket. Try to pressure the edges, force him to the middle of the field instead. Like, he's not going to kill you there. But it just seemed like they made no adjustments despite the way that the game went. And listen, like, again, without the 3 turnovers and the 11 penalties, like, this is probably a 2-score game. Buffalo wins this one walking away, I think. They were the better football team when you just look at without, take away the turnovers, take away the penalties. Buffalo was the better football team. Like, they finished with more yards. They finished with better 1st and 3rd down percentage. Like, all of the things, right? Like, check the box. This is a game that Buffalo probably runs away and hides if they don't turn the ball over 3 times and put their defense in really terrible situations. We're ragging on the defense, guys, but they gave up 23 points. They did enough to win that football game. So, like,
can anybody tell me why Dorian Williams was inactive? I am unsure.
He was hurt. He cropped up late on the injury report.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to give you guys a little stat, because I know you guys love these little nuggets. The Buffalo Bills have, according to Pro Football Reference, they have 11 pass defense. 6 are from the front 7.
Oh.
5 are from the secondary in 5 games. They're not challenging when balls are coming in.
They're not even close.
They're not even close. So you talk about the lack of separation from the offense and the lack of closure from the defense. This is not your typical 4-1 team that everyone thinks is a Super Bowl favorite. This shows how much 17 covers up for you in games like this and stuff like that. Now think about it. Ryan went through the gamut earlier. I'm going to go through it again. You got a fumble from Derrick Henry, and then you got a 3-and-out, and then you were able to win that game. I don't know how you did that. Then you played 2 teams who haven't won a game yet and won ugly against both of them. You needed a last-minute pick by Bernard. And then the Saints just won their first game. Didn't they just win their first game?
Yeah, they beat the Giants yesterday.
Yeah, they win their first game in week 5. And you beat them, and it took a little bit to do that. What's so surprising about this? I know this season's kind of wacky, and there's not really like a ton of blowouts. And if they were to blow every team out, I think it would throw up more red flags for this team. And people be like, no, they're blowing teams out. They're fine. No, they are not fine. We've been telling you guys this for 3 weeks now. And nobody wants to say anything because they were winning. Oh, they won. Yeah. This is a problem week 1. And like Ryan said, the further we get away from the Baltimore game, who just, it was funny because like Twitter, I saw a bunch of Ravens fans talking about Josh Allen. Bro, you just lost by 34 to the Texans to a 24-year-old who said he's getting older and his athleticism is declining. Like, you got your own problems to worry about. You don't be coming for Buffalo, dude, literally. So we've offered some suggestions today. Paul, what is your number 1 problem that has to be addressed and has to be addressed against the Falcons coming up?
I think. So I think everybody's going to complain about the defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had more problems with the offense because, as we've been saying for a few weeks, it was if you can stop James Cook, you make this offense average, even with Josh, right? Like at some point, right? You just don't have the ability. Josh doesn't have the ability to throw it to himself, right? Like that's just the facts of the matter, right? Like Shakir was most impactful at the line of scrimmage. Literally every single NFL team is aware of that now, right? Like you got away with a couple with Shakir passes close to the line of scrimmage. Those are going to be gone next week, right?
Mm-hmm.
You keep going to the well. You do it 2-3 times a game. That's going to be gone next week. And those are the things that will dry up. The offense to me is the most concerning because when you couldn't get James Cook going, that's when everything absolutely fell apart. And yes, I understand that the Bills had turnovers that fall into that. And I don't mean to discount those, but the Bills had pace like they were in the lead the whole game, right? Like, they're down points and we're seeing, Ty Johnson and Ray Davis packages. And like you're losing this football game. Like, you're losing this football game, right? There was just some alarm bells for me where it almost felt like they just knew that they were going to win sooner or later. And panic started to set in. And that's when you saw Josh just start trying to run the football. Like we saw 2019 Josh. I don't want to see 2019 Josh. 2019 Josh and 2025 Josh are two different people.
Mm-hmm.
We saw 2019 Josh where he dropped back, look and say, fuck it. I'm just gonna let me just get what I can. Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So to me, it is, you got to figure out a way to make this offense work when James Cook isn't,
Mahomes just do a pick six, guys, by the way.
Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
A 101-yard pick six.
Oh man. That does make me feel a little bit better about this situation.
Takes the they're losing now. Yeah, that was the pick that took that game Jaguars lead.
Mario, if you had to fix something, right? What's your fix?
Apparently my face, according to Paul in the chat.
Oh yeah. No, he's salty, man. He's salty.
If there's one thing I'm going to fix, I think you need to change some things up. You can't keep rolling out the same guys that you have out there as far as defensively. I think you need to do something. Either you see what you got in Trey White. You cannot blitz as much with him as a liability on the outside if he's going to be covering a speed guy. You can't put him on Drake London. You can't obviously put him on anybody that has it. You want to put him on somebody, put him on Kyle Pitts the whole day. Now, Pitts is fast. I'm not going to deny that, but he's also very physical. Trey can somewhat get at least physical, at least on the in line. Like when he's lined up outside, I'm sorry, he can line up on him. And then you got to put Benford on London. And then you can't blitz as much because if you try to dial up a run blitz and you guess wrong, Bijan's gone and there's nobody catching him.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as longevity, I think you need to get some different bodies. I'm not saying necessarily you start getting some free agents or you get some of these other guys, but you need to get something where you change up your philosophy a little bit. You can't blitz as much and leave man behind you because eventually this front four, I don't mean to discredit Ryan, what he said. This front four, when some guys come off of their suspensions, I think they're going to be a little bit better. And I think they're going to be a little bit more stout. McDermott's defenses typically don't have a lot of defensive players, especially the edge rushers, get a lot of sacks. They get a lot of pressures and force a lot of turnovers and bad plays, but they don't get the sack. So that being said, I like I said, I tweeted out earlier, if Hairston comes back, move Trey to safety, put Rapp and Milano in packages as your linebacker or your linebackers, put Shaq on the field and put Benford on an island. Do that. Have him follow around the best receiver the whole game. Play 10 on 10.
That would be a big change, Mar, right? Because like Stephon Diggs had 12 targets, which was 3 times more than the next receiver.
I know, right?
So if that doesn't tell you that they're not willing to put their hat on a hat, right? No. Put their best hat on their best hat, like I don't know what does. No. Right? Like I agree with you. I would love to play, matchups, but this defense gets manipulated with matchups because they just refuse to move guys around. They just absolutely refuse to flip coverages in the secondary. It's It's frustrating. But that would be a big change, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying would be a big change for them.
Yeah, and just a little nugget to give you both guys, something to chew on, and you #Nation. Because of Diggs and Davis, this team will never spend a lot of money for a wide receiver or trade for a high value wide receiver. Now ask me why.
Oh, I'll take the bait. Mario, why is that?
It's because of the development that you got from Josh Allen playing with Stephon Diggs and what they were able to accomplish and what he was able to learn. Number one. Number two, if you want to get paid a lot of money, go get paid a lot of money. Look what happened to Gabriel Davis when he left and got paid a lot of money. So if you're a wide receiver in the Bills system, you're a wide receiver in the Bills system. You're not going to get paid a bunch of money to be in that system because Josh Allen can get anybody the ball, at least in their mind. I'm not saying that I'm saying that. I'm saying they're saying that. Allen can make anybody a star in this offense. Like, well, you're muted, Ryan.
So who's the star in this offense if that's a true statement?
As far as wide receivers go?
You just said that Josh Allen can make anyone a star in this offense. So who's the star that he's made?
I think the star that it could be is Shakir.
Who's the star he's made though? Because if he can make a star out of anybody,
well, he made Davis
Shakir's
one.
A really nice wide receiver too.
Yeah, he made Davis one, and he went off and got paid. And
was Davis a star though? I mean, was Davis a really good?
He got paid. He got paid like one.
I mean, he didn't. He wasn't. It's not like he was the top paid wide receiver in that free agent.
No.
Right?
What I'm saying,
he benefited from an overpriced wide receiver market.
Yeah, as a result of what Allen and Diggs were able to accomplish, and the result of what happened with Davis, they'll use that as a marker. Yeah, go ahead, see what you can get, or just stay here for cheaper. You know what I mean? Like, but I think Allen literally he can get the ball to anybody at any time and make somebody a start. Now, I believe Shakir could be that guy because look at the skill set that this kid possesses. He except for that drop he had,
he's dangerous with the ball in his hands.
He's
man.
very dangerous in open
it's
field.
So wild because it's not flashy, right? Like he just gets dirty yards. You know, I don't know what it is about him, but he's got incredible balance, man. Like it's fun to watch him bounce off guys. But mind you, that does not make for long careers, right? Like it does not make for long careers. But yeah, no, I get where Ryan's coming from.
Yeah,
Josh has been here for long enough where you would think that if Josh were a star maker, this would be a laundry list of guys instead of guys who played out their rookie deals. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, you go back to like, Burrow, they went and got Chase, like, Hurts, they went and got AJ Brown, like Mahomes, they went and got Hollywood Brown. Then that didn't work. So they went and drafted Xavier Worthy. Then they also got Rashee Rice. Like good teams go get guys, right? Like there's plenty of quarterbacks in this NFL that can make guys a star. You know what those teams do? They still go get a star. Like they still go get a guy. And the fact that this team is unwilling to do that is absolutely like an abject failure for them. Like, listen, I love Khalil Shakir. You can count on one hand how many teams he's a wide receiver one for in this NFL. Like, let's just be honest about that. And if you disagree with it, give me his comp. Like, who's his comp? Who's his top flight like ceiling guy? Like that he's going to turn into. He doesn't have the size to be a Justin Jefferson or a Jamar Chase or a AJ Brown or any of these guys, right? Like he doesn't have the speed to be a Xavier Worthy. Or
you want his comp?
Yeah. Who's his comp?
He is the wide receiver version of Isaiah Pacheco, who can only start
wide
for 5
receiver
teams.
version. That's not a thing though.
No, what I'm saying is,
right? Like,
I only see Pacheco starting for 5 teams, including the one he's starting on right now.
Yeah, and he's not playing well, right?
Yeah, I know.
Off an injury. So I mean, like, listen, I get it, man. Like, I get it. Josh is a unicorn. Like, I talk about it all the time on this show. Like, I talk about it all the time. He's a unicorn. Like, you got to go get him a guy, man. Like, he's about to turn 30. Like, what are we doing? Like, you're wasting arguably the best wide receiver, the best just like pure talent guy of this generation. And what? Like, everybody eats? Like... If this is what the offense looks like when everybody eats, the entire team's going to starve. Like it's not going to work. You have nobody that can attack the boundary.
Clip
You
it.
have you have a play caller who doesn't know how to use the weapons that he has at his disposal. You've got a tight end that could be a star, like Dalton Kincaid. He's talented enough to be a Trey McBride type of tight end, right? Like he's that good when he's on. The issue is that you've also got Dawson Knox that you somehow, for some reason, need to throw the football to, right? So he can catch
with
the
a
ball and fall down.
$14.5 million salary cap number, by the way.
So he can catch it and fall down, right? He's got no yak this season anymore. Like that part of his game's gone. Like it's just the defense to me is the least of the problems, because if the offense can go out and score 30 points, like they're going to beat a lot of football teams. And when you've got Josh Allen, you can score 30 at the drop of a hat. I seen it, right? Like I've seen him do it the last 4 games up until week 5. Like he's just gone out and they're like, well, how'd he get 30? I don't know. He's Josh Allen, right? Like, but what, go get him a guy. Like go get a guy. I don't know. And again, I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what the mechanism around it is. I don't know if it's, if things fall apart in Philadelphia, is it call them and say, hey, we'll give you Keon Coleman, a first-round pick, and, I don't know, something else. We'll toss in a sweetener. Is that enough to get A.J. Brown or Devonta Smith away from them? I'll take either one, right? Like the Dolphins are an absolute disaster. Is there a way you can pry Waddle away from them? Like there's guys out there that I think make sense from a trade target situation that I don't have any faith that Bean's going to go out and do it, because he hasn't done it yet. And he's been here for a very long time. So, and I don't know that McDermott's going to bang the table to go get a guy, right? Because that's assets that he could use on his defense next draft, or whatever the hell he plans on using, plans on doing with this defense coming up. So I don't know. I mean, defense, yeah, sure. Let's talk about it. They're aging. Like, okay, but can we go get the unicorn some help? Like, I don't know. You've got a top 5 offensive line in the NFL. You've got a top 5 running back in the NFL. You've got a top 2 quarterback in the NFL. And you got a bunch of dudes playing wide receiver. Like, I don't know how you don't view that as an issue.
Welcome to our TikTok, guys. That's going to be a TikTok. Literally. What year was it, Ryan, that we had, I said something like we have 3 twos, and you were like, that's not good enough. And we had an argument in the chat for like a day. I was like, 3 twos is fine. Look where we are.
Yeah.
You got 2 twos and 2 threes,
right? If you got 2 quarterbacks, you don't have 1.
Yeah.
If you got 3 wide receiver 2s, you don't have 1. Like you don't have a guy that you can just throw the ball to. Because at the end of the day, that's what Diggs was, right? That's why you had the ascent of Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Because when things got tight, when your ass puckered a little bit and the game got tight and you needed 7 yards, who you're going to throw the ball to for 8? And it was Stephon Diggs. Mm-hmm. Who's that guy in this offense? Too long.
Yeah.
That means they don't have one.
Yeah. I'd say Kincaid.
I mean, it's. I think that
Kincaid dropped
everybody
the ball in the
was
playoffs.
saying.
Yeah, he did.
Well, everybody was saying that it was going to be Keon this year, right? That was the talk. Oh, Keon looks different in camp this year, right? Keon looks different, and even though to Ryan's point earlier that he was missing drives yesterday, he's still second on the team in targets. Like, Shakir had 9, Coleman had 7.
Yeah,
and with that all being said, you don't look to fill that position in free agency. I think a lot of fans believe that you get your dude in free agency. You do not get your dude in free agency. Those dudes don't often hit free agency, and if they do, it's Devonta Adams. And I would not want Devonta Adams now. Like Devonta Adams 6 years ago, different conversation.
Devonta Adams right now.
Would you really?
Yeah, absolutely. He's the best wide receiver on this football team right now.
Would you take Hopkins?
Hopkins, I'd think about. I don't know that Hopkins has enough in the tank. I'd go trade for a disgruntled DJ Moore.
Is he disgruntled?
Yeah, sounds like it. They're giving him carries in the backfield because he's not happy with his production.
All right, we have a very important question as we.
Guys! I tapped out. I got 3 left.
Oh, that's it.
You know what's crazy is that
right.
Ryan started the episode talking about he's got a head cold. He went to the game. He's eating the wings. This podcast was his Jordan flu game. Misinterpreted because he didn't have the flu. He had food poisoning.
Oh,
Yet
God.
Ryan is eating wings from Walmart and it's going to give him food poisoning.
So if we record Wednesday, that'll be my flu game.
Yeah. That sounds like it works.
Yeah. So, I mean, guys, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, so I was just going to point out, right? So in the world of, we have to always re-sign our own players, right? Which is Buffalo culture, right? They try to re-sign all their own players. If you had to not re-sign Rousseau and instead sign Cooper Kupp, who signed for 3 years, 45, does that change this offense? Is that the mistake, right? You re-sign Rousseau, you tie up money there when you could have gone and gotten Cooper Kupp, who I'm sure would have absolutely loved to come to Buffalo as opposed to going to Seattle, right? But Kupp often banged up, right? Like a lot of problems there. Rousseau not in that same situation. But is that what you want your dude to look like? Because if not, you're trading your first round pick in perpetuity for a guy. Like that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna have to trade first round picks for perpetuity.
Okay. I mean, if your first round pick's 31, 32, difference does it make?
Exactly. Right. That's the risk, though. You know, like
I mean,
that's the risk.
Right. Like I get where you're coming from, Paul. Right. Like I don't direct this at you, but what does that mean? Like Max Harrison isn't on this team. Okay.
He's not on this team now.
Okay. Right. Like.
But
let's go through the list of first round picks. Like let's go through the.
Well, I think that. Yeah, I know it's not great.
I think,
right?
But I mean, all of that is a larger, like all of that is the big picture of this team, is their value of draft picks, and then what they do with those draft picks, right? Like okay, who's the last first round pick that this team has made that stepped off the bus and become an impact player? Like
Diggs.
Diggs wasn't. I mean, okay, okay, right, okay, yeah. I mean, prime example of it though, right? Like, you know, so if you're not gonna get production out of your first round picks, which is what those picks are for, is to step in and get production, then why not trade for insert name here? You know, like. What do I care if they give a first round pick for DJ Moore? Is it an overpay? Sure. But is DJ Moore like the best wide receiver on this football team by a wide margin? Absolutely. Today. Like, it's just frustrating because we say all of these things. We kind of rail on this, and it's just going to be what it is. Like, this is the football team that you got going forward. You're going to get some guys that are going to come off suspension. You'll get Matt Milano back, and then he'll play 30 snaps and he'll get hurt again. You'll watch Trey White chase a faster wide receiver around. Like, I can't wait for Kansas City. Like, what's that going to look like, right? With Rashee Rice back and Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown and Trey White trying to chase one of them down the field. Like, he'll have trouble covering Juju Smith-Schuster, and he'll be wide receiver 5 by the time all those guys come back. You know, and like, I don't know, man. Like, I just don't. I don't know. After this game, this is the most down on this team I've been in probably the last 3 years. I just don't have any faith that it's going to get any better. There's no reserves coming for the offense. They're going to have to figure it out. But at the end of the day, you got that dude on your sideline, and you're going to win 12 games, and you're going to be fighting for the 1 seed.
I seen him.
Right? Like, what dude? That dude. And like, we saw what he can do yesterday. Like, there was a play. It was a scramble that he had for a first down. And like, before the play even started, like, I looked at the guy that was sitting next to me and I just go, Josh is going to put his cape on right now. Like, because he just had that look about him. Like, he gets that caged animal kind of look to him on the offense. You can watch him on the field. Like, when you go to the games, you can just watch him. Like, they struggle. He starts pacing. He starts, kind of like getting a little jittery in the pocket. Like, he wants to go. And then like 2 plays later, like, it's just, okay, just the hell with it. I'll just do it myself then. Yeah. Yeah. And as long as you've got that guy that can do it at a high level, great. The issue is that as he continues to get older, it's going to take him a little bit longer to get off the turf every single time he does it. And that's what you have to worry about.
I think that's what they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
And just I think again, this is probably an episode. This is a different episode, like talking about draft history. I think it's one we probably have to do
Oh,
because I do
100%.
think it paints a larger picture of the the organization. Every first round pick has been at the bottom of the round for 5 years now. Listen, stars are drafted in every single round, right? Like it just doesn't matter to me whether it's the 10th pick, the 15th pick, the 32nd pick. That just doesn't matter. Lamar Jackson was drafted 32nd in the first round. Like the selection doesn't matter to me. I think what ends up happening is Buffalo starts drafting players based off of where they know they have holes. And I don't know if that's always the best approach in the draft, is to draft the best player at the position that you think you need the most. Like Buffalo's been pretty adamant of, we draft defensive ends and we draft cornerbacks because we can't afford them in the free agent market. Like Bean's been very adamant about that. We draft tackles, we draft corners, we draft defensive ends because those are premium positions and they are expensive in free agency. And that's their approach. You just always have to keep that in mind when you're looking at the build of the roster, right? Like that to me is the biggest piece that Beans ever released about this team was that these are the positions we draft, and it's because they're expensive in free agency. And that's almost a direct quote.
They're even more expensive when you don't spend your money the right way.
Oh,
Now, spend it a couple times. You signed 2 guys that aren't even allowed to put on a jersey yet. So there's that.
And you know it. And you knew it.
Yeah, and you knew it at the time.
Yeah. And you knew it, and you still didn't get a discount for them.
Nope.
Ryan just took all the salt that he had on his wings and sprinkled it on #Nation right now. So good. All right, guys, that's it for us tonight. Obviously, the Bills lost, so we're not having a roast time. Make sure you follow the socials, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Make sure to check out our sponsor, Mr. Rogers Homes, in the description of this video. Check out his YouTube channel. We'll be here following the Atlanta game because we usually do the Monday night post games. So right after the game versus Atlanta, we will be here. We will be live. So be sure to check that out. And we'll catch you guys on the flip side. Maybe we'll go do some episodes. We'll see.
Hello, fellow Bills fans. Sean Rogers, Realtor and lead of the Mr. Rogers Homes team. Did you know that real estate is one of the best ways to build wealth, and right now is one of the best times to own an investment property in Arizona? Please reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions so we can take the next step to your financial freedom here in the Valley of the Sun, utilizing real estate. As always, God bless America and go Buffalo!